Hi guys, today I wanted to just sit down and chat with you guys. I feel like it's been a while since I've just sat down and not shared like a haul, a vlog, and we kind of just talked. So last week on Instagram, I asked you guys to leave me questions for an incoming freshman Q&A video. I will be a sophomore studying fashion merchandising at Kent State University in the fall, and I remember like watching so many YouTube videos before moving into school. I wanted to basically know everything, not only from someone who is going to Kent, but just in general. I think everyone has a really different college experience, and obviously everyone's is unique, but hearing other people's perspective just brought me such peace of mind and made me feel so much more comfortable moving in. So I asked you guys to leave me any questions you may have, and today I'm just going to be going through them. This is going to be really chill, sit down, talk through style. I will try to leave timestamps below so you guys can skip ahead if you have a specific question or if you left one that I'll be answering today. So someone asked, best tips to move in quickly. I know many universities are doing limited moving time slots. So I last year moved in, I think around August 19th. I can't exactly remember the date, but we did have a time slot then too. However, no one really stuck to it. I do think that people will be pretty strict on moving in time slots just because of Corona and all that's going on. But my number one tip for moving in fast is to make sure that you are really diligent with your packing beforehand. You guys can go back and watch, I will leave it linked below. I did a packing video last year for when I packed to go to college, and I'll do another one this year. But my mom was very good about how she packed everything up. She did most of the packing, and we packed a lot of things into blue IKEA bags and then a lot of things in just brown boxes, and on every single box she had written down what was in it. That way we kind of knew what we needed to like unpack first, I guess. So my bedding was in all one thing, and the bed was the very first thing that she like unpacked, and clothes were the last thing I did because I wanted to get my room all in order, and I could put clothes in like on hangers and into drawers after like the time slot. So you want to do like the bulk of the moving in first, if that makes sense. You want to rearrange the furniture and actually get the things that you need help building or assembling with your parents first. That's really crucial. But labeling all of your stuff with what is inside each box or bag is so important. And I also had like little labels on every single bag or box that said my first and last name and what room number I was moving into. So I had like Centennial A, which is where I lived my freshman year, and then my room number. That way any of the movers and groovers, which are the like students helping you move in, they would know exactly where to drop that stuff off, and they could really help be beneficial. The next question is, what should I wear to orientation? So my college orientation was in June prior to moving in, so it was a couple months ahead of time, and that's like when we scheduled our classes and all that jazz. And I just wore a bodysuit and jeans one day, and then the following day I just wore a jumpsuit. Obviously I do go to school for fashion, so I am obviously a little more dressed up compared to your average person on any given day, but just something you feel comfortable and confident in. The first like week I was there was obviously like that freshman kind of activity week, and for most days I would wear a bodysuit and a skirt. I would wear a crop top and a pair of shorts, a romper, whatever was comfortable. And as far as shoes goes, I was always wearing flat shoes because I was doing a lot of walking that first week. The next question I got is tips for getting to know your roommates and getting close. So I think it's really important to remember that everyone has a different roommate experience, and you don't have to be best friends with your roommate. In fact, in most cases, you're not going to be best friends. I know a lot of people that have a really negative roommate experience. My sister's roommate ended up moving out second semester. So I loved my roommate, Emma. We met each other through the Facebook group, and we got along great. We did not do a lot of talking beforehand. We talked like every now and then when we were picking stuff up for the dorm. We would let each other know what we got, but in all honesty, we didn't really know a whole lot about each other before moving in. And I think getting to know each other just kind of comes with those first few weeks. Go to dinner with your roommate, go to the freshman activities together, like do all of those things together. My sweet mates Olivia and Lauren, I am super close with. I talk with them all the time in the summer. We've texted, we've called. I am hoping that Lauren is able to come visit me next week. So like I said, you don't have to be besties with your roommates. I know that Emma and I were much closer first semester, and then when we both got initiated into our sororities, we kind of met other friends and branched out. But just making sure that you're being the roommate to your roommate that you would want them to be to you, if that makes sense. So be respectful of their space, wear headphones while you're watching TV, don't leave the lights on all the time, don't be super loud in the morning. That's how you would want someone to treat you. So it's really important to treat your roommate with the same amount of respect you expect. Party outfits for the fall. I keep getting questions about this, and I did a blog post on this actually today. I will leave it linked below in the description bar. It will have been like a week or so ago by the time you guys are watching this, but I am trying to share some more hauls with going out items. Everyone's like party scene is a little bit different. Some people go to bars, some people go to frats. It kind of just depends. I am planning on doing a video with outfit ideas, but I do already have a blog post up, so I will leave it below. Would you recommend getting a job right away? How many weekly hours is a good start? So I can kind of speak to this, but not completely. So blogging and YouTube is my job. In the summer, this is my full-time job. I am working a little over 40 hours a week right now, but during the school year, I was taking a full course load. I took 16 credits first semester, I took 18 credits second semester, and between my blog and my YouTube, I was working about 20 to 25 hours a week. Some weeks I would work a little bit more, some weeks I would work a little bit less, and it's all about time management. So the nice thing about my job is I set my own hours. If I want to wake up early to get my work done before my 11 a.m. class, I can. If I want to work until 2 a.m. getting a blog post written, I can. And that's what's kind of difficult about me giving like job advice when it comes to college, is that I pick my own hours and I do my blog and YouTube work around my class schedule and what works for me. So when it comes to getting a job on campus and like them giving you your hours, that's kind of tricky. They are going to be super flexible with you, and I would say start off with about 15-20 hours a week, you know, like whatever you think is manageable depending on what classes you're taking, how heavy your course load is, what you were used to in high school. Like in high school I was cheering, I was also in like 3 different clubs, I was editor-in-chief of the newspaper, I was involved in baseball, so I was always consumed with extracurriculars and my blog. So when I moved to college and I didn't have as many extracurriculars, I kind of just picked up more hours for my work because I had the time now. I had the free time. So kind of just depends. But would I recommend getting a job right away? I would probably say take it easy the first month, and then like the second month, then that's a good time to start getting a job. Some people do need to get a job right away to obviously pay for tuition, rooming, housing, all that other stuff, and that's totally fine too. But I know the first month I was at school, I had like 2 weeks worth of blog content photographed, pre-written. That way those first couple of weeks, that first month, I could really adjust and get to know my friends, go out, really live in the moment, I guess. I am rushing this fall and half of it is virtual. Any tips at all? Wear a pair of statement earrings. They're really only going to see you from here up, like you guys are watching me right now. So wear a cute top and make sure to accessorize. That way you still look cute, you still look polished, presentable, all that jazz, and just be yourself. Having a sorority recruitment online I think is actually going to be so beneficial for some people. I know a lot of girls have social anxiety. They really struggle to create conversation. Maybe they get nervous meeting so many new people all at once, and I think Zoom is going to actually take off some pressure. It's like just talking to your friend. It's like FaceTiming your mom. It's literally just like talking to someone on the phone. So make sure you have some good things to brag about yourself a little bit. What were you involved in high school? Why did you choose your school? What made you want to go through sorority recruitment? And what did you do during quarantine? How are you dealing with the pandemic? Those are all going to be questions that you can expect thrown your way, and a lot of like conversation starters. And then make sure you are able to brag about yourself a little bit. What are your strong suits? What is your passion? What is your dream? Are you chasing your dream right now? Do you have a blog and a YouTube that you've been doing for 4.5 years? If so, brag about it, talk about it. If you are passionate about something, it is really important to bring it up during recruitment, whether it's online or not. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be too different, but just make sure you have like a solid-ish background too, kind of like an online phone interview. I would make sure that you are in a comfortable space that's not super busy behind you. A lot of people have asked, what do you wear to college? wear whatever the heck you want. Whatever you feel comfortable in, whatever you feel confident in. I'm a fashion major. I'll wear a dress and heels to class every day if I want. But I know that that's not necessarily what you guys wear. I wear a lot of joggers too. I wear sweatpants. I wear pajamas around my room when I don't have to go to class. I only had class 2 days a week in person last semester, so switching to fully online isn't that much of a difference to me, I guess. And because I work from home now, I'm not like super worried about it, I guess. That's kind of like the least of my worries going into my sophomore year. But you guys can watch any of my week in my lives, and I go through all of my outfits every single day in those videos. I know that they're lengthy vlogs, but the top few questions I get are, what do you do in your classes? What do you wear to class? What do you wear going out? I always get asked, what do you eat at school? And how do you manage your time? I know my vlogs are long each week at school. They're like 45 minutes to an hour, but it's because I cover every single one of those topics every single week. So if you want to like get all of it in one place, I really recommend watching those. I think this year when I go to school, I will obviously continue the week in my lives because you guys want to see them. But I am thinking this year I might separate my outfits of the week from my week in my life. So like I think I might make them 2 separate videos each week. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys like that idea, let me know. But just because I feel like so many people don't watch the week in my lives because they're like, oh, it's just a vlog, but it's not really just a vlog. It's me telling you everything there is to know about my college life. Someone asked for room ideas for a triple room with 2 people in it. I don't really know what that means just because I have never seen a triple. I know that Kent has triples, but I've never been in one, and I'm assuming that they kicked a 3rd person out because of Corona. If you still have 3 beds, I would probably just push 2 of the beds together, and whoever wants a big bed can have that. Personally, a twin bed doesn't bother me. I have a twin bed at home, so it's not really any different to me when I went to school, but just maximize that space. Maybe put some furniture there, use extra storage. In school, you're gonna use every ounce of space because you're living in a very small room. My room in Centennial A was still very large, but when your whole life has to fit in that room, you are going to want to really take advantage of that space and maximize it. So extra storage, extra place to put your clothes, maybe a cute clothing rack, futon, anything like that. The next question is how to pack your clothes for school. So I get this question so often, and my answer is always blue IKEA bags, the kind that zip at the top. They are so easy. They're really, really easy to stack in the car and to pack, move around. You can wear them on your back, and they have straps so you can carry them normal. They are so easy, and they fold down to like literally like this small, and I just shove them under my bed when I'm at school. But they are lifesavers. They're $5 from IKEA, and I have like 8 of them, and every time I would come home, I would stuff them full of all of the clothes that had been sent to me, all my PR mail, and I would bring it all home, and I would literally clear out my entire closet. As far as like sweaters and things that you are planning on hanging, I recommend leaving them on the hangers and then taking a trash bag, poking a hole in the top, and like trash bagging like 8 or 10 items together. I did that for like my jackets, my sweaters, and a couple of other like random dresses and stuff that I hung in my wardrobe. The next question I got was basics you need for college, and I filmed a video on clothes you need for college. I recommend just checking that whole video out. I will leave that linked below as well. In that video, I kind of talk about all the basic tops I had, jeans, bottoms, belts, accessories, loungewear, literally anything I wore in college frequently and felt that I needed, I included in that video. So totally feel free to check that out. I have a college essentials video too that talks about all of the items that I think you need, whether it be for your dorm room or for like everyday life. So you guys can check those out. I have a playlist called college videos that has all of the videos I've kind of talked about in this video all linked. So if you want to like find everything all in one place and like maybe binge them all, I will leave that playlist linked below as well. I know that like some of these I'm like not answering directly, but I have like separate videos going in depth on a lot of these topics. Someone else asked, what is the best way to make the most space in your room for storage and for clothes? So if your school allows you to half loft your bed, definitely half loft it. I half lofted mine, and I kept all of my shoes, my dishes, my like extra bags, my IKEA bags, like the zippered stuff, like anything like that I kept under my bed. But a majority of what was under my bed was my 3 dresser drawers, because you had to keep them under there, and then my shoes, and that was like great. I could tuck it all away, and I had a long bed skirt to cover that all up. I kind of go into that in my college dorm room tour video, which I'll also leave here. And as far as the rest of it goes, I had a wardrobe, and the wardrobe was so tiny. With the amount of clothes that I get from YouTube and from blogging, like I was always like packing up IKEA bags, shoving them under my bed, putting them in random corners so that I could take them home whenever the time came, because my stuff was always overflowing. But I recommend like those little 3-drawer like plasticky containers that Target and Walmart sell too. I know like a lot of people have them, like pretty much everyone that moves in gets one of those. They're like those 3, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably already picked one up if you're gonna be a freshman, and we kept some of those in the corner too for like extra storage, stuff like that. And then I kept like little collapsible little cubes on top of my wardrobe. That way I could keep like cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, snacks. Like there was stuff everywhere in every corner of my room, because you just have to, like it's so small that you're gonna have stuff kind of scattered throughout. Someone else asked good websites to buy cute stuff for your dorm room. So my comforter last year was from Urban Outfitters, and then I swapped it out about halfway through the year for a Dormco comforter just because it was comfier, and I work for them and they sent it over, so I switched that out. And my headboard was from Dormify. I love Dormify. It's expensive, but they are great for pieces that you're going to use over and over again. All of my wall prints, like on my room decor, I basically like didn't have any decor anywhere except for a huge gallery wall. I do like room decor. I honestly just don't like clutter, and I don't like little like tchotchke kind of things. So I didn't have like a lot of random small decor pieces in my room. I just had that one giant gallery wall, which I will be doing another one this year when I move in, and all those prints were from Desenio. I had a lot of stuff from Dormco in my room just because I did work from them, and then my Alex 9 drawers were from IKEA. But do not underestimate your TJ Maxx and your Home Goods. So much of my dorm stuff came from both of those places, and Target is where I got like my dishes, extra storage bins, acrylic containers, all that jazz. Someone else asked, I'm going to Kent and I was wondering if you think it will be difficult doing remote learning. Honestly, I'm not that worried about it. Last year I took 2 online classes second semester. Out of like my 6 classes, 2 of them were already online. So then when Corona pushed the other 4 online, it wasn't that big of a deal. I kind of already knew what I was in for. And like I said, I do work full time for myself on the computer at home from my bedroom, so I'm kind of accustomed to it. I'm used to time managing on my own. I've been getting a lot of requests to do a video on how to time manage / how to like manage working for yourself from home. I will do a video on that. It kind of seems silly to me just because I do it every day, so it doesn't really feel like tips to me. It kind of just feels like my daily routine. But if you guys want to see it, I will sit down and like create a list for that. I don't think it will be too difficult, but I also know if you're going from high school and you're completely transitioning to full online learning, that it might be a challenge. It also depends on what your major is. My sister's an engineering major, and she's in like physics, chem, calculus, engineering classes, and like those are not as easy to take online as some of my fashion branding classes, stuff like that. So it kind of just depends. Go in with a positive mind and make sure to use your resources. Your counselors and your professors are going to be super helpful during this time, at least I hope, because they don't know what they're doing either. So I feel as though they're going to be a little more lenient and really want to be beneficial to you. Someone else asked, how do you keep everything organized and together on move-in day? So like I said, keep everything in IKEA bags, box everything up, make sure you have everything labeled. And then someone else asked, how did you move in? Like, what was your move-in process? So my parents and I left. We had like a scheduled time, whatever. The lighting keeps going in and out. I'm sorry guys. But we basically started off, we first went into the room and we didn't bring anything up. Emma and I went in there, we saw the furniture, and we decided what layout we wanted. We decided to keep our 2 beds side by side, and then we had our refrigerator like somewhere in the middle of one wall, and then we had our wardrobes. One was tucked into the corner, one was next to the sink. And so we kind of decided what that layout was first, and then our dads moved all of the furniture into the space that we wanted. And then while Emma and I started like bringing up like boxes of stuff into the room, our moms went ahead and like made our beds. They put all the stuff. Making your bed when it's half lofted is kind of tricky. We half lofted the beds and then made those, put the sheets on, put the headboards on, all of that kind of first. And then from there, we kind of worked from the back of the room forward. That seemed to be what's easiest for us. My dad had to build a couple of things, and I don't know, it happens really fast, and I didn't end up filming last year because it happened so quickly. Like, move-in just kind of goes like that, and there's so much to get done in such a short amount of time that you'll kind of just you'll do whatever needs to be done. Next question is, what do you think is the best way to make friends on campus with coronavirus happening? Honestly, I wish I had a better answer for this. I know that every school is going to kind of react differently to this. Some will still have sporting events, some will still have in-person sorority recruitment, and obviously, like, everything is kind of up in the air. I guess I would say just leave your door open in your dorm room and just talk with everyone that walks by. I don't really think you're going to, since you're not going to be going to classes, like, this is where I really struggle. Like, I don't know, guys, because I don't know what is necessarily going to happen. Obviously, I'm a sophomore and I still have friends from my freshman year. I have a lot of friends there and I'm really excited to go back. But at the same time, I still want to meet new people. I want to become friends with freshmen. I want to meet more upperclassmen, and that's kind of hard when you're not going to class, you're not going to parties, you're not doing like anything, you're kind of just sitting in your room learning. So that is where I say kind of like take social media as online dating. If you see a girl that looks really cool and you are like, God, she seems like someone I could be friends with, reach out to her on Instagram and be like, hey, you seem super cool, like let's go to the dining hall together, or let's walk around campus. I mean, I think that's gonna be kind of normal this year. I don't really feel like anything is out of the norm nowadays because like everything is changing day by day. So reach out to people on social media. If you guys are having recruitment, that's a great way to get involved. You'll obviously meet more sisters, stuff like that. And I know that like my sister's school is allowing you to join virtual clubs. I don't really know what that entails or how that works, but it might be something worth checking out. My next question is, on a rate of 1 to 10, how stressful was it to move in, and how was your first night alone? I would say move in was like a 5 out of 10, if that. The actual moving in process was not very stressful to me. It was just the going to college part that I was nervous and stressed about, if that makes sense. I don't know. The whole like move-in day, it goes, like I said, there's so much going on. It's so chaotic that you will blink and it will happen. I will say it is kind of not awkward, but it is kind of like you are just meeting this person and you have to say goodbye to your parents at the same time, so that's kind of tricky too. I honestly didn't really have a hard time saying goodbye to my parents. It just happened so fast and they were like, okay, bye, see you soon, and they were gone. I am definitely a homebody and I was nervous to go to school, but I had no problems with like being homesick once I actually got there. I would say that I was more homesick second semester than I was first semester, and that was just because I missed the comfort of home, and I had just been home for a month over winter break and was like, gosh, I kind of miss my mom cooking for me and doing my laundry and all that other jazz. But my first night alone, I didn't really even think about home at all. I was not nervous, I wasn't sad, anything like that, because I had these 3 new roommates, these people I didn't even know that I was living with, and I was like, well, I have no choice but to get to know them. So that first week we did a lot together. We socialized, we went out, we had girls in the room from the hallway, we tried to meet as many people, we got food together, we tried all the food like around campus. We just did a lot together, and I was so consumed and full of these new people and all that was going on around me that I didn't even have time to think about the fact that my parents had just left me here, I guess. My next question is, what is your favorite way to get involved on campus besides Greek life? So I was a Bumble campus media manager, and the Bumble team on every college campus, not every college campus has one, but if your campus does have a Bumble team, it's made up of 4 girls, and I absolutely loved the girls that I did Bumble with. They were so friendly. I applied for the position on a whim and I got it as a freshman, and I met so many people through it. They host events, they talk about Bumble, we give out donuts, we have like bar tabs, just kind of like random things on campus, and it was a great way to meet people. We would like have a bar tab at one of the local bars of like $500, and we would have people download Bumble in exchange for a free drink card. Well, we would get, in order to get a $500 bar tab, we would have to give out at least like 250 of those little drink cards. So I was meeting like 250 people in one night. So it was a great way to just really not only get involved, but just meet new faces and people of all ages. So if you guys have a Bumble team, I would recommend like not trying out, but like sending in your application for that. And I also think getting involved in a publication is a great way too. I did apply to be on a mag, which is the fashion magazine at Kent. I haven't heard back yet, so fingers crossed, but I really want to work in a magazine setting post-grad. So if there's something that you are definitely interested in, just go to like the resources, go online and like type it in, and chances are there is a way for you to get involved in something related to that. The only thing I'm not involved in on campus that I wish I was so badly is baseball, but there's kind of like no specific way to go about that. How did you coordinate your room to look similar with your roommate? Were you nervous? I was definitely nervous to go to school. I wasn't dreading it, but I wasn't overly like eager to go away to school at the same time. As far as coordinating my room with my roommate, Emma and I like talked about that right off the bat. The very first thing we talked about when we agreed to be roommates is kind of what we wanted our room to look like. It's really important to be open and honest with your roommate, especially during that process, because you don't want to get to your room and then absolutely hate it because you compromised on every single thing. So Emma and I decided we wanted white comforters, and we kept a white, gray, and blush pink accent kind of color palette in our room. And then from there we just grabbed like random stuff. Like I grabbed the carpet, I grabbed the curtains, Emma grabbed the coffee machine for herself, and like each of us was responsible for different things. So kind of set up a color palette. If you guys don't want to get the exact same comforter, you don't want to get the same things, that's totally fine. Emma and I did end up with the same comforter and the same headboards, so that made our room look really cohesive. However, I know that's not the case for everyone, especially with like a budget in mind. So I don't know, communicate about it and be honest. Next question was, what school supplies should I bring besides my laptop? This is a really interesting question now that classes are getting moved completely online. I had a notebook for every class, and I had some pens, a planner, and my actual computer itself. I didn't bring any folders, and I never was handed like any papers for any of my classes. And I'll be honest, some of my classes I took notes in every single day. Others I maybe used one page in the spiral notebook. For my sophomore year, I just grabbed a 5-subject journal, and I'm gonna bring some pens, and I'm gonna hope for the best, because I honestly, like when classes are fully remote, when my classes went fully remote spring semester, I didn't use anything besides my computer. Some classes will require you to have like Photoshop, Adobe programs, Word, Google Docs, like whatever. Every class is a little different, but with 100% remote classes, you really won't need much else. However, I would definitely recommend having like a hardbound planner, not just your calendar on your phone, to sit down, write down all your deadlines, and kind of get your thoughts out on paper. When everything is moved online, it's kind of hard to stay on top of what to do when you have tests, assignments, all that jazz. So you want to make sure you have a place where you can sit down and write it all out. Last but not least, what kind of outfits / clothing will I wear pretty often? So you're gonna wear a lot of loungewear, especially if you're a normal person. Like obviously I'm a blogger, so I get sent a lot of nice clothes, and I'm a fashion major, so I like to wear a lot of nice clothes. But I would say your average person's probably wearing jeans and a tee. Maybe they're wearing an activewear set and a sweatshirt, sweatpants and a sweatshirt, you know, just normal clothes. You're going to need some comfortable shoes to walk around in, especially if you still have class on campus. I'd recommend a couple of pairs of sneakers. You probably will wear a lot of joggers, especially with online class. I do have some loungewear hauls coming your way, because I know a lot of you guys are looking for loungewear now that things are fully online for a lot of people. And then I would say like basic crop tops, jeans, black jeans especially, and you're gonna want some going out shoes. I kind of go over a lot of this in that video I was talking about earlier, where I sit down and talk about like my college wardrobe essentials, clothes you need for college. So check that out. But I would say if you didn't wear it at home, you will not wear it at school, unless it's like something kind of hoey, like, you know, it's like a really, like you probably wouldn't wear it in front of your mom, but like you've been saving it to go out to a party in college. That's the only exception to the if you didn't wear it at home, you won't wear it at school, I would say, in my opinion. But yeah, probably like what you're used to wearing now, a little more casual. I definitely toned it down in college compared to what I wore in high school. In high school, I wore a dress and heels every single day. I would still wear that to like college if I could. The problem is my classes were so far away from one another that I would like literally like double over in pain if I had to walk 6 miles a day in heels. When I was just walking classroom to classroom, it didn't really matter. So In college, I took it down a notch. So you guys can check out any of those videos I talked about throughout this in the description bar. I will try to link them all. And that is going to be all for this little freshman Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed a little chit chat, sit down. And if you have any additional questions, be sure to leave them below in the comments. I will get to all of them. I read all your comments and I try to respond as soon as possible. I know that this school year is going to be really unpredictable. And just remember that everyone's in the same boat as you. It's totally okay to be nervous about it. I'm a sophomore and I am like antsy. I'm really anxious moving into school, kind of not knowing what's gonna happen. Will we get sent home a month into the school year? Like, who knows? And you know what? No one can really answer those questions. So go in with an open mind, try to be positive about it, and good luck to all of you in the back to school season. I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.